Welcome to Junior Pro Talk, the new season. I think this is season number 4, episode 1. We're joined by Conner Kaufhold and Casey Kaufhold. Thank you guys for being here.
Yep, thank you for having us.
Yep, thanks, man.
So we'll dive into some hot topics with today's podcast. Go over what's going on in your guys' life, given the state of the world right now. How you're, still shooting your bow. As frequently as you can. I mean, the weather hasn't been too nice, so.
Yeah. So we've been trying to practice as much as we can. It's hard not having to set goals for tournaments and all that, but if the weather is permitting, we'll be outside shooting.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, personally, I've had more time to practice because school isn't as time consuming now when it's online, and I don't really have to travel anywhere to go to the range, so it's kind of an exception for us because we don't have to travel to shoot. So
yeah, that's pretty cool. So Connor is a senior, right? And then Casey, you're a sophomore or junior?
Sophomore.
Okay. Feedback that I've been getting from some of the youth archers, top level youth archers, has been the same. It's been hard to set goals now that all the tournaments are canceled, and kind of feel the same way. Now you shoot in the senior division. Connor, you're still shooting as a junior, right?
yeah, still junior.
So yeah, I'm still shooting as a junior. So but anything else like hobbies that you've taken up lately, given the state of the world?
Well, trout season just opened up here in PA, so
Okay.
I've been going fishing a little bit the last few days I have, but other than that, there's not really much to do. It gets pretty boring. So
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been cooking and baking a little bit more just for something to do, and it's fun and I enjoy it. And been doing some sewing. I'm into sewing and design and stuff like that. So those are probably the two biggest things I've started on again since the big break.
That's pretty cool. So first I'll start off with Connor because he was the first person to say his hobbies, and then we'll go on to your baking and sewing, and that sounds pretty cool though. So any monsters you've been ripping out of the waters?
actually, I have not caught a trout yet. I've caught a bunch of creek chub, but the trout just haven't been coming my way. I don't know. But
Yeah,
I mean, I haven't been out much, so more time I get out on the river, the more luck I'll have.
yeah. I guess that's why they call it fishing and not catching. Yeah. No, but that's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to start fishing a little more, but no, that's really cool. So where do you? I mean, not giving away your locations or anything, but where do you normally go?
Don't want to expose the secret spot.
Yeah.
But just creeks around town. Like I haven't traveled more than 20 minutes to get to any of the creeks and streams. So I mean, I've been staying to the smaller streams because the bigger streams up at Speedwell Forge and all that, they're pretty busy all the time. And so I've been trying to stay away from all the busy spots. So that's how I've been approaching it.
So keeping your social distance, of course.
Yeah.
And it's good to hear that you guys are staying healthy and you're doing well. So I guess we'll go to Casey now for this selling tips and tricks for stuff.
I don't know about tips and tricks, but I've just been doing some more, since I can't really go out and shop, I've just found some old things that I don't really like anymore, or don't fit a certain way, and I've just hemmed a couple of pair of pants into shorts since the weather is getting a little bit warmer, and just trying to find things around the house to do. So sewing and cooking. I've made some cookies and some stuff for Easter because that's coming up this weekend. So just trying to find things around the house to do just because we can't really go out much.
That's pretty cool. So my family, we're doing Easter over Zoom.
Oh, okay.
So everyone's going to join in. I don't know how it's going to go, but I'm sure it'll be pretty cool,
Yeah.
just being able to see everyone. Because I didn't really think about this, the pandemic impact and like holidays like that, not being able to even see your family. So, um, yeah, um, yeah, it's definitely been hard on everyone. So,
Yeah.
yeah, but so any major changes in your equipment lately? I know you switched to Easton.
Yes, we both started shooting Easton.
Okay.
Can I talk about that?
Yeah, that's been the biggest change for us recently. I'm gonna be getting a new Hoyt Formula XI pretty soon.
Okay.
I'm gonna pick up one of those. Casey's been shooting one for a little bit now.
Yeah.
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 Pretty cool. So like during this time, are you guys playing with like aerospine, like different configurations?
I've mostly been playing with fletchings. The Aerospine that I have, I'm shooting 450s now. They tune pretty well for me. And then, so I've been playing with spider veins and spin wings have been the two that I've narrowed down to that have shot the best for me. And so I'm just doing some trials with those, seeing how they group compared to each other. And I'll make a decision for that because I have a lot of time to play with stuff and find what's best. So might as well use it.
That's pretty cool. So so is it like a like more poundage new buck, or is it the same? Just newer.
I'm just getting a new riser. The
Okay.
diamond lens will be the same, so
Okay.
no changes
That's pretty
there.
cool. Yeah, that's pretty cool. So how about you, Casey? How are you liking the change?
Yeah, I mean, I like the arrows a lot. I've been doing some bare shaft plotting lately. Like how I tune my arrows is like I shoot them all as bare shafts, and I'll turn the nocks till they group within like the 8 ring or so at 70 meters, and then I'll fletch them all up and then plot them with fletchings on and like pick the top dozen out of the couple dozen I have. So that's the process right now, and it takes a little while, and I haven't been able to do that just because it's been windy for the past like week or so. So
Yeah.
yeah, slowly trying to get that done. But other than that, biggest change equipment wise I've made is yesterday I switched my aperture on my sight to a 1/2 inch ring. I had been shooting a 3/8 before, and that was just what I was shooting indoors, and I hadn't changed it since I went outdoors. So just shooting a little bit of a bigger ring for the bigger target.
So I've never shot I've shot a recurve, but not at 70 or 80 meters, whatever it is. I don't even know the distance you guys shoot.
Yeah, 70 meters.
70 meters. Okay. So how do you aim? Like, do you just like circle the ring around like a ring on the target, or like?
Yeah, so since I have like an open ring, like the one I have on that I just switched to, it lines up with like the black ring on the target. But people who have like a pin or a dot like Compound has, you just set it in the center.
Yeah, like a lot of people still shoot a pin for recurve, but we found that it's easier to just relax and not worry about the sight movement as much. In recurve, it really doesn't matter as much as some people would think because it's a lot about having good shot execution, and it's really the same with Compound too. So.
Yeah, that's a pretty good tip. I mean, so I don't know. Did I send you guys the mission statement that I put together for
I
Juniper Talk?
I believe so.
Okay, I may have not. So it just goes in detail. It just goes over like our mission. To reach out to youth archers, and actually got some feedback from a few people. And this is actually how I started archery, was watching the Junior Pro Talk videos.
Yeah. So was it the paragraph you sent about the questions and yeah? Okay.
So
I believe, yeah, we looked over that.
So yeah, it's just like our vision for this, like what we want to do with Junior Pro Talk. Reach out to up and coming youth archers, maybe give them, a slight edge. So the next person, like, the up and coming archers can shoot like 600s and like Neem, and set new standards like that we've had. Things like that. But we're just trying to put together like informational and just unique like articles, videos, and podcasts with in new perspectives. Because I mean, I think youth archers have different perspectives than the professionals, and maybe youth archers that are 14, 15, just starting in like competition, they can use this for their advantage and get ahead and set a new standard for youth archery. So
yeah, of course. I think it's important that we give the next generation a good idea of how like the pros act and how they train and stuff like that. So I definitely think it's a good idea to start getting that information out so they can learn when they start.
yeah, so and I think everyone that I've talked to so far, and everyone's been really supportive of the idea. I mean, it's hard not to support benefiting youth archery. And I'm not saying it's just youth archery. I mean, people who are in their older might like what we're doing and tune in, which is totally fine. We're not trying to it doesn't matter your age. You can use our our articles and podcasts, but everyone's been on the same page. Everyone wants to help. They want to do their part to make youth archery better, and I think it's gonna be a great thing in the future. So, but well, I won't talk about that too much. I'd rather talk about what's going on in your guys' life. So how have you guys been managing your schoolwork? I know you're doing online school, and then you're still in regular school. So how's that going right now?
So our school has, as of I think yesterday or 2 days ago, it's been canceled for the rest of the year. So
Okay.
we're moving to completely online now,
Okay.
which the state has weird regulations, so they can't really give any actual like graded work. So our grades for the third marking period are going to end up being our grades for the entire semester. But participation in the online classes and like the Zoom meetings and stuff on there is expected. So
Okay.
it's really a lot more laid back. You don't have to worry about like studying really hard to get the grade. You just you do your best on the assignment and just show that you are still willing to learn and put forth effort to it.
Yeah, I think it's how it should always be. If you put forth the effort and you're trying, I think that shows more than the person who's just walking in and studying and gets straight A's. I think the people who try their best in life will get ahead of the people who just get straight A's and they don't learn anything. They just I don't know if I'm saying that right or not, but I think it shows more that if you're dedicated to something, you don't have to get I mean, the point of school is not to get everything right
Yeah.
the first time you walk in. It's to learn. And I think I'm not saying that things shouldn't be graded, but I think there should be more participation aspect to school. And then Casey, because of your schedule with unfortunately now it's canceled, or postponed till the fall with the World Cups.
Yeah.
So
It's definitely been like weird to see that everything's been postponed and canceled. Just because I worked really hard, like I made sure I started shooting outdoors early, like so I could get ahead, and just to see, like it was definitely disappointing at first, but now just looking at it, like the progress that I've made from last season to this season was pretty big. So in these next couple of months, before competitions start up again in the fall, hopefully, I'll be able to improve just as much or even more than this past year. So at first I kind of was sad and distraught about it, but now looking at it, I think it's a great opportunity for everybody to get better.
I would say like the first week and a half, I was pretty down, with all the tournaments getting canceled, like Arizona Cup, Gator Cup. I mean, not canceled, but just postponed. I was, I don't just go to those tournaments to shoot my bow. I go there to see my best friends from everywhere. And I think it was hard, but I think once I was able to accept the situation, we're still alive, we're not being, that's the most important thing out of this. You got to be thankful for what you have in the situation and figure out the next steps to improve. It's a great way to like improve on yourself if self-reflection, and if you had some things you want to work on, this is the perfect time to do it. And so I think I totally agree with what you're saying. Like I really think if you accept the reality right now and you figure out a way to use this time like you are, to get better. Like you said, you've grown as an archer and as a person over the last year. So have you, Connor. And if you can just keep that growth going on like an exponential, if you want at an exponential rate, I think you'll be unstoppable. I think you guys will both be unstoppable if you can utilize this time. So
yeah, thank you. Yeah, so I think like everybody looking at it now, like they think, oh, it sucks, I'm stuck at home, I can't do anything. But even if they're stuck at home and can't get to a range, like it would be a great time for everybody to just work on their mental process for archery, and even do some like home workouts to improve their strength. While they might only be able to do like up close blank bail or even stretch band if they don't have a bail at home. So just for the people out there who are struggling with getting back on a normal archery routine, just I'd say to look at your options and use them to their best ability.
Yeah, that's a great it's a great tip to youth archers. I don't think anyone could have ever said anything. I mean, I don't think anyone could say anything better. Yeah, so COVID-19 has really affected New Jersey, where I'm at especially. I'm like an hour and 15, hour and a half from New York City by train. So, which doesn't, it seems pretty far, but it's really spread like quickly. So yeah, but it's definitely affected like my everyday life. You can't go to the grocery store. I mean, you can go to the grocery store, but you can't go to the grocery store without a mask on now. The store shelves are empty. It almost looks like out of like a movie, like the lights flashing and nothing on the shelves. Everyone's just scrambling to get the last baked bean, but no, it's definitely been different. Thankfully, where I live in a rural community, so like I have 10 acres at my house, and then right a quarter mile down the road I have another 200, so it's pretty nice. Your neighbor is like a quarter mile away, so you're not really seeing them too often, but it's definitely been a little weird with everything going on, but I think it's gonna be over really soon. But going back to like how I'm utilizing this time, so I had the idea the other night. I come to realize like I never really did anything with this platform. Such a unique, and I mean, there's nothing else like Junior Pro Talk. I feel nothing that really covers youth archery to the extent that Junior Pro Talk does, and I couldn't ask myself, I couldn't answer the question why I never did more with Junior Pro Talk when I inherited it from the older guys that aged out of the junior division. I couldn't answer that question, and I decided at that point that I was going to do something about it. And I mean, the growth over the past 3 days has been revolutionary. I feel we put together a lot of good articles that will be out very soon. We put together like mission statements, like what we're going to do. So I don't know if you guys have checked out our Patreon or not, but that's where we'll be posting our articles, and everything will be 100% free. But people have actually donated money, believe it or not. And I mean, I'm very thankful. But I that was something that like I wasn't expecting, to like people would want to like donate to this. But I actually created a PayPal account, so all the money will be going into that PayPal account. So it's like safe, and I'm gonna be announcing like what we'll do with the because I don't want donors' monies, I don't want it to go into my pocket. I want to make sure it stays out of my pocket and it's reinvested in the youth archery, because that's the end goal, is to leave youth archery better than we found it. So, but yeah, we're gonna be posting informational articles. It's gonna be great. I won't spoil it, but
Okay.
I'll be posting some tonight. But so, and then yeah, that's pretty much it with Junior Pro Talk that's happening right now. At the tournaments and stuff, we're gonna try to, maybe do like an archer highlight kind of video, like where we pick an archer, or we'll probably pick 2 or 3, so we can, like, over the course of the year, have content. Like post one following the tournament, and then we'll just keep posting them. But just highlight the dedication and commitment of youth archers to the sport. And because really, they're the next pros. They're the next Levi Morgans, Jesse Broadwaters, Rio Wilds. And I think, Casey, you were like 14 and stepping up to the senior division, and it's just unheard of. And what people don't realize is the dedication that you have to the sport. And I look up to your dedication. And Connor, you're dedicated. You're really dedicated to the sport. I'm not putting you down in any way, but your sister, she would, you might do the same thing. You guys would go out to the range and shoot all day, right? Like, how many days did you just not go inside, but you were just practicing? Like,
yeah,
it's
just
hard to
for
think about.
the love of shooting an arrow and that drive to win all the competitions. And I think that's really what fuels it all for us.
Yeah, no, that's really cool. And I think it shows. And I want to highlight that commitment, so, because I think if the more people who see that like commitment, they'll be like motivated to do that, and then it's just going to raise the level of competition in the sport. There's going to be new world records in the coming years, and I think it'll be very beneficial to the sport. So, but you guys are really busy, and I really want to thank you guys for just sitting down and having a conversation about what's going on with your lives. And
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, and hopefully it can touch someone else's life, if they're stuck in quarantine and like we are right now, and they don't know what to do. So
you need motivation or whatever.
Yes. So all right, so before we end, I'll open the mic up to you guys, maybe talk for like 5 minutes about something that means a lot to you guys, and then we'll call it a day.
Okay, just about like
for about anything.
Anything? Okay.
Anything. Really, this is all about you guys. So anything you guys want. I know it's it's hard to
just straight off the dome, but okay. I think I want to talk about just how like times are rough right now, and everybody might be having a loss for motivation and drive to keep going. And I think that's the biggest struggle for everybody right now. Just not knowing when this will be over or how big this will get. And I think we just need to focus on ourselves and the safety of the people around us as well. And just make sure that everybody is taking care of what they need to do as far as like whether it's their practice, their schoolwork, staying safe, and just make sure that they keep working and keep trying their best.
Very good. Very good point.
Yeah, I agree completely. And specifically for like those in the archery community, like obviously most importantly is keeping everyone safe. So if you are in the situation where you have to travel to go to the range, maybe it's not the best idea to do that, or maybe it's closed at the moment and you can't get there. And if you don't have availability to shoot at home, there's plenty of workouts and stuff you can do to stay on point in your training. And yeah, I don't know. That was kind of a dumpster fire, honestly. If you want to just cut that one.
No, I totally get what you're saying.
No, you can cut that.
Okay.
100%.
All right, regroup. Yeah. All right, just regroup. We'll give you like here. We'll give you like 15 seconds to regroup. Think of come. It's fine.
Because now you know what you want to say.
Nah.
Yeah.
Mine wasn't
Dude.
very good.
All right, how about this? Talk about something totally different than Casey said. Like, talk about. Give me a tip for if you're talking to yourself 5 years ago. What's one piece of advice?
13-year-old you.
And it's like totally fine to mess up, just so you're aware. Like, you know how many times I've paused during this and like sound like I'm stuttering?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what to say.
Dude, it's totally fine. All right, let's think about this real quick. Let's have some conversation real quick.
All right.
So, what is the best piece of advice that you've gotten from any coach? And you don't have to say what coach it's from, but what advice was it, and how you connected it to your archery, and did it like impact your life, like in school? Like, did it help you like in life in general, like that piece of advice? Because sometimes advice, on shooting your bow impacts your life, like how you take a test in school.
Sorry, our video cut out for a second.
Oh, it's fine. So Connor, what is one piece of advice that you've gotten from a coach or anyone in the archery industry that has positively impacted your archery and also positively impacted your life? Like, were you able to like take that advice and connect it to your everyday life, like taking a test in, say math class? Like, have you been able to apply anything to your life? I'll leave the mic open to you.
So I can't name anything specifically, but I often, like in different like school meetings and stuff where we have a speaker or something, I'll pick up things that I hear and I'm like, yeah, that applies to like everything, schoolwork, archery, life in general. And really it's nice to be able to pull those out and realize that it applies to everything you do. Like, for example, like my math teacher said that, like, well, and not exactly, but something like, if you're prepared for it, you're not gonna be all panicked when the test comes to you if you're prepared for it. And like that applies really well to when it comes to tournaments in that situation. If you're feeling like super panicked and stuff, that you weren't as prepared as you could have been, whether it was mentally or in like at the level you're shooting. It like there's always something you can do more to be better prepared and kind of push away that nervousness and almost panicked feeling that you get when you're in a high pressure situation. So
Connor, I think that's a great piece of advice, and hopefully people can use that to benefit youth archers coming up into the rankings. They can use that for their advantage. But we'll actually sign off for today. Thank you guys for being here with me, and this was actually our first podcast of Junior Pro Talk, the new season. So really appreciate you guys and help me step off on a good note with this season. So thank you guys.
Yeah, thank you.